Advice. There's good and there's bad ones.
How to make a big bitch lose weight. When you out in public, I want you to pay somebody $5 to walk up to her and ask her if she's pregnant. And then pay somebody $10 to walk by her and say, damn bitch. And then pay somebody $15 to go up to her and say, damn you a big pregnant bitch.
We live in an era where if anyone has decent enough internet connections, they can hop online and give their 2 cents about any opinion that they have. I want to say it's a blessing because there's a lot of people who have lived life that can give us advice and give us the shortcuts. But then we also have people who think that they're the modern day Aristotle or Pluto, spreading the worst advice I've heard in my entire life.
If you saved $1 a day for a year, do you know how much money you'd have? Roughly $30,000.
But despite both realities, there's one type of advice that us as humans will always fall back on centuries even after we get destroyed by AI. And those are cliches. Whether you've heard it from your mom, your dad, your teacher, your brother, cliches are overly used and abused. And I feel like there just has to be a reason why. Well, growing up, I hated cliches. The thing about me is that I wanted to hear different advice. If I told my homie I'm going on a date with my crush and I ask him, yo, I'm going on a date with this fine shit, like, what should I do? What should I do on the date? And he tells me, just be yourself. I'm gonna look at him and be like, what the fuck? Like, no, I can't be myself. Like, I'm weird. Tell me how to be the 6 foot tall Giga Chad who gets bitches. I can't be myself. I always hated cliches because it's like everyone just says the same thing and they just sound like record player just saying the same thing. And I always just had this ideology that if everyone is saying the same thing, there's something that's being gatekept. There's like some secret ancient knowledge from thousands of years ago that someone is hiding under their basement in Scandinavia. Like, if every single person is saying the same thing, there's something that's not being said. And I'm not gonna lie, I still think this, but at the same time, as I get older and my prefrontal cortex continues to develop, I now realize that a lot of cliches actually do hold so much truth. And there's one cliche that, again, we've all heard before and I've heard my entire life, but as I get older, it's genuinely changing my life and helping me see the world in a much better perspective. And that cliche is, can I get a drum roll? Can I get a drum roll? Never give up. For the last 4 years, I have been on this consistent up and down loop of constantly relapsing on my goals, constantly falling back, constantly needing to start over. Every single year, I will start off the year saying, okay, I'm going to reach this goal. I'm going to reach that goal. I'm going to do this and that within the 12 months. And by the time the end of the 12 months comes, I'm in the same exact spot, doing the same exact thing as I was the year before. I basically had every right to just give up on my dreams and become the salty uncle at the cookout that never accomplished his dreams and bashes on his nephew for getting D1 offers. But then there's this part of me that refuses to give up because I just know that my dreams are not just something that I think are cool and it's in my brain, when I know that my dreams are God-given. Like, because if you look at everyone else around you, 99% of people don't have the same dreams, the same desires, the same drive, the same ambition as you. There's a reason why you were given those dreams to begin with. And so there's always that part of me that just refuses to give up no matter how many times I keep falling back, how many times I keep relapsing, how many times I lose consistency. There's that part of me that just never refuses to give up because I know that my dreams are bigger than who I am. It sounds corny as hell, but the phrase never give up, nah, 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 I won't give up. I had to. The phrase never give up basically just helped me see a whole new perspective of failure. The reason why a lot of people give up is because they don't know how to internalize the feeling of failure. They don't know how to see failure as a good thing. And the hard truth is that a lot of people, when you ask them about failure, they think that they're scared to fail. A lot of people don't realize that it is not failure that you are afraid of. It is the feelings that failure gives you that you're actually afraid of. You don't like the feeling that failure brings to you, and you don't know how to internalize those feelings, those emotional reactions to failure. It's not failure itself. Because it's kind of like, let's say, it's kind of like being sad. When you're sad and you want to be sad, a breakup or something, and you want to listen to sad songs, you want to get these emotions going through you and processing them. Wanting to be sad and being sad is going to be a whole complete different experience than being sad and not wanting to be sad. Not wanting to feel an emotion, the resistance to the emotion is what actually makes it feel worse. You resisting failure, you not wanting to feel failure, you not wanting to fail is what you're actually afraid of. It's not failure itself. It's the resistance to the emotion. If I go out to do something and if I have the mindset of I'm going to do this thing and if it fails, I'm going to be happy about it. I'm going to be good about it. Not necessarily like I have to be this motherfucking jolly person who goes around, like, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying if I go out and set myself to do something and I understand that if I fail at it, the way I'm going to process the emotions of failure and internalize it is going to be in a positive way. It's going to be in a learning way. How am I going to learn from this? What did I do that caused me to fail? How am I going to bounce back? That's going to be a whole different emotion. And I'm going to want to actually go out, fail, and understand that I'm not going to give up because failure is just part of the process. And that's what's going to allow me to not give up compared to the person who goes to do the thing, they fail, they don't know how to internalize those emotions, and then they just stop doing it. That's what's going to set you apart. Now you're probably wondering, how the hell are you going to internalize a negative emotion? Obviously, us as human beings, we don't want to feel bad. We want to feel good. We got to understand that every single thing that we do in life is either to gain pleasure or to avoid pain. And so obviously when we fail, we're avoiding that pain. When in reality, we have to switch our perspective on it, and we have to see it as gaining pleasure. Failing is going to be a good thing for you, depending on how you actually go about it. I posted this YouTube video and it got 2 views. What went wrong? And this is when like you got to be like obsessive over it. This is when you got to like really, oh my God. Like this is when, bro, like you got to move differently, because everything, it really is just a perspective thing. When I post a YouTube video, it gets 2 views. I'm not looking at it as, oh my gosh, it got 2 views. I suck at this. I'm not good at this. Like people hate me. People don't want to watch me. No. Why are you thinking with a small dick, bro? Instead, you gotta look at the YouTube video and be like, okay, why did it perform the way that it did? I rewatch it. My hook wasn't that good. Maybe I could say this a little bit differently. Maybe I can add a little bit like a sound effect right here, so that way people can stay for just like 5 more seconds. Maybe I was going off the script a little bit and it lost people by 2 minutes in. Seeing the performance of what you did and learning differently from it. Did that make any sense? Learning differently from it. Basically seeing what you did and how you can move about it differently. Anyways, you get the point. Let's also talk about how people give up because they don't reach their goals within their certain timeline. You got to understand, bro, timelines are made up. Timeline is just in your head. Once you throw the timeline out and you just focus on 1, getting better at what you do, 2, knowing that consistency beats perfection every single time, you're not going to be worried about the timeline. If I give myself a goal of I got to reach this summer thing in 3 months and I don't reach it in those 3 months, don't just give up on the goal. Set it for the next 3 months. Be like, okay, you know what? I didn't accomplish it, but I'm going to set the goal again for the next 3 months. Because even if you didn't accomplish the overall goal that you wanted to reach, you still did something in those 3 months, right? If your goal was to lose 15 pounds in those 3 months and you maybe lost only 5, guess what? That's 5 pounds that you lost compared to the 0 pounds that you would have kept if you didn't stick to whatever you were doing. You did something in those 3 months. You just got to keep going. I didn't reach the goals I wanted to last year in the 12 months. Guess what? That's going to be for the next 12 months. And even better, don't even think about the 12 months. Don't even think about the goal. Don't even think about the timeline. Because a lot of people have this perception that their goals expire when the timeline expires. Your goals don't expire when the timeline expires. Your goals are going to keep going. The timeline was just made up in your head to like hold you accountable. But just because you didn't reach it, okay, set it again for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months. And understand that time is always going to be on your side, bro. We always have time. If you really, really, really want to do something and you are dedicated to it, you will always have time for it. Showing up for something, you making time for something, it doesn't have to be the 1 hour workout. It can just be, maybe you couldn't hit the gym today, but you decided to still do 5 push-ups before you go to bed. It's still just showing up. Because consistency beats perfection every single time. And so again, understand that failure is not a bad thing. Failure is a really good thing that you want. Like, you know, it's inevitable to happen. Like if you're setting out for any goal, understand and know that you are going to fail. Understand that and accept it right now that you will fail. Understand that consistency beats perfection every single time. Just because the time expired, your goals don't expire. Anyways, if you want more personalized advice and help from me, one-on-one coaching calls, or be in a community of other like-minded people, link in the description to join my paid community. RNH Hunnid, stay Hunnid with yourself.